I have to share something with you. This is something that, frankly, I think could change the course of our country. And the health minister last night on Evan Solomon's show, Power Play, was asked about shutting down an early warning system for the pandemic. Now, that's bad in and of itself. But do you remember in January and in February when coronavirus was spreading around the world and other countries were putting in place border measures and shutting down the border and putting screenings in place? And you know what they were telling us in the House of Commons? They were telling us, oh, there's nothing to worry about, it doesn't work, don't worry about it. I want you to listen to something, okay? So this is the clip, and I'm going to do it here rather than clipping it into the video just so you can hear it. This is what she said about when she knew. This is the health minister, when she knew about the coronavirus. I want you to listen to this full clip.
Well, let's be clear, first of all, that there were many different ways to understand what was happening with COVID-19. And in fact, Dr. Tam, as you know, sat on the World Health Organization Advisory Committee. And so we knew very early.
We knew very early.
The risk that it posed to
we knew about the risk that it posed.
We're watching it very carefully in late December.
In late December and early January. She was fully briefed. She was fully briefed. She was fully briefed in December and January, and yet they refused to close down the borders. They refused to tell people to wear masks. They refused to put screening things in place. They were behind the 8 ball on PPE. You know what? She was fully briefed, and she chose to do nothing. Worse than that, she downplayed the risk. That's her own words. It's not my words. She said it on national TV last night. I knew in December and January about the risks that the coronavirus posed to human health, and she did nothing. I stood in the House of Commons and watched her downplay this risk, right? At a time when all of us should have been coming together as members of parliament, we wanted to believe, we wanted to make sure that the government was on the taking public health advice, and she knew and she did nothing. And people are dead. People in Canada are dead because she did nothing, and that's the reality. And that is unconscionable. And now here's the thing. So all of you that are sending your kids off to school this morning and are worried about the spread of coronavirus, all of you who are watching the Prime Minister come out and respond to the higher uptick in coronavirus numbers, and they're saying, you know what, maybe we'll have to shut down the economy. The same people that are asking you to trust them today with this are the same people who, by her own words, was fully briefed in December and January. Come on. That's like borderline criminal. Come on. How did that happen? How is she still the health minister? How are we taking any advice from her? Come on. That's ridiculous. Every Canadian needs to watch that clip. Evan Solomon didn't even have to tease it out of her. She just offered it up. Like, yeah, I knew about it. I knew about the risk of a massive rampaging virus, and I chose to downplay it? Come on. She made a choice in that moment. She made a choice that killed Canadians. Killed Canadians, literally took their lives, impacted their families. She made a choice that put us billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars in debt as a country. She made a choice that saw millions of Canadians lose their jobs. She was fully briefed in December and January and chose to do nothing. Think about that. We could have been ahead of things in January or February. And think about that. Think about it. They waited until the middle of March to close, to put any border screening in place. I remember Premier Kenney took it upon himself here in Alberta to have to put in place airport measures because they weren't acting. And yet she said she was fully briefed. If you were fully briefed and your job is the health minister of Canada on a pandemic and you do nothing, like Justin Trudeau, how are you listening to her advice? This is crazy. I have to listen to this again, but I want you to share this video. Every Canadian, regardless of political stripe, needs to hear that clip, and they need to be outraged. Share this right now. If you've never shared a video on Facebook, share this and listen to that clip from last night. That is unconscionable. I'm going to get on this. Parliament is shuttered. Justin Trudeau shut down Parliament. This would be the top thing in question period today if we were sitting, but it's not, because they're trying to cover all of this stuff up. We'll figure it out. Working hard for you. Have a great day.